Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our co-host, Portia Williams, joining us today.
Hey.
And it's time to get into some front page news. Good morning, Miss Ryan.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. We're going to start with our Women's History Month newsmaker. It is Melissa Butler. She is the Lip Bar's CEO, and it has become the largest Black-owned makeup brand in Target.
Wow.
The company launched in 2012. And can you believe Shark Tank told our dear sister no? Well, she showed the sharks because she is now in more than 1,000 stores throughout the United States, including 750 Target stores. So kudos to Melissa. You know I'm rocking my Miss Independent lip gloss right now.
Dropping a clue bomb from Melissa Butler. Wow.
But I will say, sometimes when you go on Shark Tank, they don't see the vision, but the people see the vision.
Right.
And then, you know, your stuff still sells and you're still able to get in those stores, but you just don't have to give up that percentage sometimes.
But that's life, though. Everybody gets things wrong.
That's true.
Absolutely. And a show called Shark Tank, you know, sharks are bound to get it wrong. But speaking of Black women making history, Madam Vice President Harris traveled to Columbia, South Carolina to make a historic announcement on high-speed internet access. The Affordable Connectivity Program means 16 million households are saving $500 million per month on internet bills. And she also announced, this is the most important one, 61 minority-serving institutions, which includes HBCUs like Benedict College, where she made the announcement would receive $175 million in grants to expand internet access on campus and surrounding communities. Now, you may say, why does this matter? Well, we saw inequitability play out in internet access during the pandemic.
That's
we know
right.
kids were going to parking lots of fast food restaurants
That's right.
to use Wi-Fi. And so Envy, as a graduate of Hampton, and Leonard with an endowed scholarship at South Carolina State in your mother's name, we know how mission critical it is to ensure these schools are treated equitably.
Absolutely.
And there's
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. You know, back in 2020, to Angela's point, you know, I actually saw that. Like, I saw those kids, you know, going to, you know, Taco Bell and Starbucks to use Wi-Fi. So me and the then mayor, Stephen Benjamin, we came together and provided free access to Wi-Fi to the Colony apartment community on West Beltline Boulevard in South Carolina. So,
No, that's great. But I've been noticing Wi-Fi recently in the last couple of months have been horrible everywhere. I don't know if that's phone service. I don't know what's going on in the world, but it just seems like service has been bad.
When everybody's still using it. I mean, we definitely depended on it. The kids depended on it during the pandemic. But think about it. Our kids that are in school, that's all they use.
Right.
Even still now that they're back. So it's important.
And Leonard, you just mentioned Steve Benjamin. I think you know he's just appointed to the White House. He'll start in April as their new Office of Public Engagement Outreach. He's taking Keisha Lance Bottoms' place.
that's a great black man right there. Dropping a clue bomb for Mayor. I still call him Mayor Steve Benjamin. What's his title now?
He is now going to be the head of Office of Public Engagement. So I think he's a senior advisor in that role.
Where
but
at?
don't give me the line.
Yeah, give me the
Because
simple.
somebody tried to say I was engaging in misinformation on here yesterday with all facts and receipts.
Not trying to correct you. and
wrong with 7 followers. Anyway, I have another clip. We have time?
Yeah, what we got?
Okay, so the next one is, you know, y'all, we're getting ready for 2024, and your former twice impeached president, Donald Trump, continues to deny any wrongdoing related to the January 6, 2021 terrorist attack on Capitol Hill. However, the Justice Department is arguing in court that Donald Trump should not be given absolute immunity for his role in inciting violence on January 6th as president. They point to a rare exception of public speech from the presidency. DOJ did not state whether Trump should be liable for the actual incidents on January 6th, but they did limit their arguments to the incitement of violence, and that is the rare exception. So Trump is facing a number of lawsuits from members of Congress, from the Capitol Police, and so many others who suffered physical injuries and emotional distress on that day.
But the DOJ not gonna bring no criminal charges against him, though. What happened to all his investigations? What happened to Mar-a-Lago and the January 6th? Like, what happened?
Well, there's a number of things that are happening. Again, all of those lawsuits, courts have combined some of the plaintiff suits, including Capitol police officers who were suing separately. We will see what happens with January 6 recommendations. This is why we know elections are important. You know what happened to that special committee on January 6th? The Republicans became the majority in Congress. And so a lot of that work that's been done, including that hundreds of pages long report, may sit and languish because we don't know what will happen. DOJ is supposed to be taking the next step. And right now, Merrick Garland is quiet. Doesn't mean he's not moving, but he's quiet.
What happened to the classified documents in Mar-a-Lago? They backed off because they found them at President Biden's houses too?
I don't think that's what's happening. I think that investigations take time. So we'll hear.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the young man who was frustrated about missing his dunks. I want him to imagine this. There's an Alabama girls basketball team. They won a championship in a boys league after being forced into the league. And how about they gave their trophy to the second place boys team? So
Why?
These young ladies are representing Spain Park. They're fifth graders in the Hoover school system. They were informed that they would lose their practice facilities if they did not opt into a boys basketball league. The girls team played hard, won the whole thing, and then they gave the trophies to the same boys who got beat by the girls.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, why they get the trophy?
I wish I could tell you. I think that they must be trying to use the justification that it was a boys league, so a boys team should win, even if the boys get their little butts beat.
But they asked the girls to play in it. That don't make no sense.
Well, can the women
It makes
identify
no
as boys?
sense.
Yeah.
Can the women
They
identify
literally
as boys?
told them they wouldn't be able to play because they were going to lose their practice facility. This was the only way for them to still be able to play. As a young basketball player, we had to do co-ed teams. And so I really don't understand why they would rob them of this opportunity.
This sounds. I don't want to say, but it sounds racial. It sounds like there was a black girl team that got busy, that they went to suburbia, they beat the white boys, and they didn't give them the thing.
Do we know this
Do we
for
know
sure?
that? I'm just saying, this is what it feels like.
I understand your feeling because we have all been adversely impacted by racism. Right now, there's no evidence of this. And since we don't do misinformation on this show, I'm going to investigate and get back to you.
I wish the
But
women
this is
that-
frustrating to
Wait,
me.
hold on.
No matter what race they are, this is out of line.
It is.
I feel some type of way about what you just said.
What?
So in order for the girls team to be the boys team, it had to be a white boy team?
No, but
Nah, they probably be some black boys.
Oh, Portia, tell them,
I
Portia.
felt some
That's
type of way
true.
about
No,
that.
but the
That's
fact
true,
that they
You
give them the
just automatically
trophies.
That's
assume
true.
that.
But-
Now, them black girls beat some tall black boys, and they should have got their trophy.
I'm just saying, but for the fact that they didn't get the trophies, it just feels
They
like
should have identified as boys.
No,
No,
no.
don't
They
start
should
that
have said, we are a
Don't
team
start that
full of
today.
boys.
that's
Well,
what you
let's shout
identify
out the young ladies who are fifth graders and tell them congratulations on the Breakfast Club. Even if they don't get the trophy, we are
Yeah.
giving
And
them
what
their
school was that?
flowers. It's representing the Spain Park area in Alabama, and it just says that they're fifth graders in the Hoover school system. It doesn't say what school, but I will find out, and I'll find out if they were black. Okay.
Salute,
Okay.
young ladies.
Yes.
Now,
And we gonna post
the
it.
next thing, speaking of black folks in news, there's a JetBlue and
Oh, I'm
Spirit
sorry. I
Airlines.
don't want to cut you off, but I'm sorry. They were white girls, and
You
they got
always
busy.
cutting off women, bro. I don't
sorry.
understand you.
I just wanted to clear it up.
I don't
I'm
get
just
it.
They were
clearing it
white
up.
girls.
I don't.
Well, like I said, it don't matter if they're white or black. That's still wrong.
Okay, you're right.
So yes. So yes. Now, Envy, I hope that means you still care about this, and that's next.
It depends. If they black boys,
better
I'm siding
post
with the
them.
black guys. I'm being honest with you.
I'm not doing this with y'all this morning. We got engaged in wokeism, Leonard.
Sorry.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
The next story is JetBlue and Spirit Airlines. You all have probably heard there's a merger on the horizon. Well, the Justice Department is likely to move forward with an antitrust lawsuit to prevent a $3.8 billion merger between the two airlines. The Department of Transportation could also prevent the transfer by refusing to grant the transfer of operating certificates. The antitrust suit is based on the idea that consolidation of the industry would cause consumers great harm by limiting affordable fares because JetBlue would remove seats and increase legroom on those Spirit flights. I didn't mean to laugh. Labor unions who represent workers for both airlines are divided on the merger. JetBlue currently controls 5% of the overall market in the United States for airlines, and this acquisition would mean 10% of the market would be controlled by JetBlue. They're still moving forward with the hopes of closing the merger in the first half of 2024.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not getting on no Spirit planes. I love JetBlue. I'm a Mosaic member,
yeah.
but I'm not getting on no Spirit plane. I don't care if they put a JetBlue logo on it.
You wouldn't know though.
They gonna have. I would know. The smell.
How would you
the
know?
smell,
Yeah, how would you-
the way the seats are set up. I'm not doing
They
it.
said they're going to take seats out to increase legroom. How would you know?
I'm not with it. Mm-mm.
Well, I
They
feel
don't
like
have
helps
a
us.
assigned seating on Spirit, so you would know if you end up at the back of the plane.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to tell me I'm not getting on no trans JetBlue flights. I need to know.
Oh my
I'm
God.
serious.
Portia,
I don't want no Spirit Airlines that identifies as JetBlue. I want JetBlue.
You know the story when Charlamagne flew us out to one of his parties, and when he gave us the tickets, it was Spirit Airlines. The
No,
man
no.
he
No, you did
It
not.
was Southwest.
same difference.
Yeah.
It is.
It is kind of the same.
It definitely is.
Tomato,
Why did
right
you
there.
do that?
We was broke.
Aw.
We had it like
well,
that.
forgive him, Envy, but
You
tell
might
him
as
to
well
fly
give him
you
a bus
private now
pass.
because you balling.
We wasn't broke, but we was doing all right.
Yeah, we doing that.
We doing okay.
Decent.
You guys, I have one more story. Do you
Okay.
want it or not?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so the last one is teachers are tired of y'all's kids. There's a teacher shortage, and that turnover rate has significantly increased. Chalkbeat got turnover numbers from 8 states: Hawaii, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Washington State, where I'm from, where turnover was the highest in 5 years. North Carolina had the highest spike. 16% of teachers left last year, while less than 12% left pre-pandemic. And one teacher also expressed concern about being targeted for teaching about people like Malcolm X. You know, we're seeing teachers, schools, and school districts punished for teaching truth. So we know this is a legitimate concern, but I think it might also have to do with the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. What do y'all think?
I think that they need to parent these kids before they leave the house. Just like they need to be eating some breakfast before they leave the house, they need to parent these kids. Don't put it all on the school.
I agree.
Like these teachers already don't get paid enough.
That's right.
And then they have to come in there and deal with all these different behavioral issues. It's just too much.
That's right. That's what I was thinking. Other than the love of educating young kids, what is the incentive for a teacher nowadays?
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yep.
These kids are disrespectful.
They're not getting
You know
paid
what I
enough.
mean? They don't get paid. So
They're not getting the supplies
what's
that they
the
need.
incentive?
Right.
Other than just the love of being an educator, what's the incentive?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, these are good questions. Well, Envy, Leonard, and Portia, this is your front page news. Thank y'all.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Angela.
Now, when we come back, Marlon Wayans will be joining us. He has a new special called God Loves Me, and we're going to kick it with Marlon Wayans. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.